What's up, guys? It's Chadlantis, and I'm going to show you Xur's location once again, which is right here next to the speaker. This is the February 5th version of Xur 2016. No webcam today because I didn't want to put a shirt on, so deal with it. What he has today is the Immolation Fists, the Radiant Dance Machines, the Stag, the Service Regime, and the Legacy Engram as a special weapon, which can contain the 3 House of Wolves special weapons, which are the Queenbreaker's Bow, Dreg's Promise, and Lord of the Wolves. So if you don't want to grind out House of Wolves and you want to be all collectionist about it, maybe you can just go ahead and grind out these legacy engrams and hope for the best. So anyway, the explosive Pyar that the Immolation Fist grants, actually what that does is enemies felled by your hammer explode, chaining fiery solar damage to others. So it's basically Firefly perk on weapons, but it works for your Sunbreaker Hammer of Soul super. So that's pretty cool. Not insanely useful for PvP. Because you pretty much just kill anybody with a hammer anyway. But I guess if you're playing against in Mayhem Clash or in a control when a lot of people are going to be on a cap point, maybe somebody like slightly out of range of getting hurt by your by your hammer, and you kill somebody with the first hammer right next to them, they'll just die to it, I guess. But mostly this is useful for PvE usages, and in PvE this is insanely good. You can just destroy an entire wave of enemies with one hammer pretty much, so that's a lot of fun. The Radiant Dance Machines, you move more quickly while aiming your weapon, so this is super freaking useful because you usually you move a little bit slower when you aim your weapon, especially because you can't sprint. So this actually helps out a lot with just like strafing while ADSing and trying to do like a firefight with somebody. You can just strafe faster. Not all the times that people can actually expect you to strafe that fast, so they don't really know like aim and move over that fast to get to you. In PvE, it's not that big a deal, but it looks really cool. The Stag, once per life, fast supercharge when all teammates die. Also, chance to spawn with an overshield. Yes, every time you start a round in trials, it counts as spawning, so you might get an overshield to start the round. Also, when you self-res, that can give you a chance to gain an overshield as well, which is pretty freaking useful. And if you spawn in PvE content and there's enemies around, then maybe if you get an overshield, that'd be obviously useful when you're fighting against a bunch of hordes of enemies. Also, the once per life fast supercharge when all teammates die. That's pretty useful because obviously you get supers a lot more often. There's actually been a few times while I was using a Stag that I got 3 self-res supers and used them all in one trials match. Just because the rounds went a little bit long, I went ahead and used mine early on because I got really fast because I just got a lot of kills. My teammates died, so I got charged really fast. And then actually 1 out of those 3 self-reses that I used, I got an overshield as well. Also, definitely won that match, nailed it. Cosmetically, it's like a freaking helmet with the giant like antler or stag horns. God, I said that wrong. Stag antlers, nailed it. It's like a skull, kind of like the ram is. Overall, though, you probably would want to go with a helmet of Inmost Light, or not helmet of Inmost Light. What is it called? Light Beyond Nemesis. There you go. The Light Beyond Nemesis for the Warlock for fast reses and trials, or a ram for the extra armor, stuff like that. You probably want to run instead, but the Stag is a fair choice. In PvE content, super useful all around. I would recommend getting it for that as well. The Service Regime, that had a rework for the year 2 value. I'm sure as you know, honestly, not very useful in PvE or PvP content. So don't stress out about getting the Service Regime. The heyday for this weapon was like right when Destiny released, before people got the Vex Mythic class. So the time has not yet come back around for this bad boy here. But if you want to shoot really fast with an exotic weapon, here you go. But otherwise, I guess you can go with a hard light or just otherwise a Doctrine and Passing if you want to shoot really fast. While zooming in, the weapon fires slower but causes additional damage. I've always been very fond of that perk, but it's not very useful right now. You can switch that up with the spinning up perk. So it's pretty cool and fun to use, but not very good. And so that's all the exotics this week for Xur. I would recommend Immolation Fist for PvE, but not for PvP at all. Radiant Dance Machines, I love it because of the look and the name of the exotic, but overall it's not a big deal for PvE content at all. In PvP, it's kind of nice, but you probably do better off with like Bones of the Owl or something. The Stag, pretty convenient for sure in PvE content. It can make it happen in PvP, but there's probably better options out there for you. And the Service Regime, it's had its heyday and its time is not here yet, so I wouldn't worry about it right now. That's it for me this week. Hope you enjoy the review and recommendations of these exotics for Xur. And until next time, citizens, thanks for watching.